I have a lot of guy student like her. All right. Unfortunately, can somebody grab me a rug on the back? Thank you. Okay, so implicit derivative. Far out your test is gonna go is this Friday, and it's gonna be something like x squared minus 6x y squared minus y to the third is equal to like 5 minus x squared, something like this. So you have to be able to take derivative like this functions. So I'll give you like a minute to start out and to see if you can get the same answer as I am. For the implicit derivative, and remember yesterday, what did I say? You got to put a parenthesis where? In front of this part right here, right? Yeah. So now you have to, once you do the product, you distribute, and then you're gonna get a similar answer as the right answer. But the problem is people don't see that. A lot of time, like this year, I focus a lot more on parentheses, and we can talk about other questions that you can have parentheses issues. This is one of them. Okay. Anybody's not here? Everybody's here, right? Everybody's here, right? Okay.
David.
David Poole? Oh.
That one you kicked out. Yeah.
Culture name. Next time it's gonna be Matthew. Again. For the fourth time.
I think it's good.
Fifth time.
Very nice.
On AP exam, you should do this question roughly 90 seconds.
That's amazing.
Because you have 2 minutes to answer a question. So, yeah.
Is this something that we did? Is it like the exact same?
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same.
It's just like different orders.
Except we only have one product rule, two.
There is no 2 product rule, there's 1 product rule here.
Yeah.
No, because in this
In
one.
mine, there's 2 product rules.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is that 9 to 6, you had to distribute, so that's why a lot of people have a problem. So can I get a start?
Yeah.
Most of you guys should already finish this. 90 seconds about finish this problem. Because you got 2 minutes to answer on AP exam for a question like this. 2 minutes. Okay, so I will take a derivative. I'm gonna get 2x minus 6. I'll keep that parenthesis. I'll just take a derivative of this. So it's gonna be y squared plus x times 2y dy dx minus 3y squared dy dx is equal to negative 2x. And that's going to be 2x minus 6y squared minus 2xy dy dx
Yeah, minus 12.
minus 12. My bad. Forgot to distribute that. Minus 3y squared dy dx is equal to negative 2x. Now I'm going to move everything to the right side, so it's going to be minus 12xy dy dx minus 3y squared dy dx. And sometimes I do this all in one step. Is equal to minus 2x minus 2x and then plus 6y squared. Are we okay?
Yes.
I'm going to take out dy dx here, so I'm going to take it out, so dy dx. That's going to be much faster, so dy dx is equal to minus 4x plus 6y squared over minus 12xy minus 3y squared. And some people say there's too many negative signs here. It's possible you can actually take out a negative sign. So this answer is acceptable already, but remember, multiple choice could be the form that they prefer. And sometimes like this, you can take out a negative sign here. That's gonna be 12xy plus 3y squared. And then I'm gonna distribute a negative sign to the top. So it's gonna be 4x plus 6y squared. So I'm gonna distribute that, so it's gonna be 4x minus 6y squared over 12xy plus 3y squared. Because sometimes the answer choices could be in the format that, in terms of the way they do it. So you have to understand that it can be this way or this way, they are the same answer. That negative sign can factor out and can distribute to the top, and then you're gonna get the same answer. How many of you guys got this? Okay.
I'm confused. Okay, so for the dy or the dx, why can't you do that on the y squared?
Look at who's failing the
That's
test
the
now.
mean time.
Wait, but for the second step on the y squared, why can't you put dy over dx?
And
Which
here,
one?
but it's not the derivative.
No, the
Here,
oh, you only do the derivative.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
questions? So now we're gonna talk about the other question. So what the trigonometry problem in terms of this one is people actually know how to take derivative, but they just don't know what to do after the derivative part, which is the argument, which is like the trig function that they have hard time to deal with. So if I have like this, sine of x plus y is equal to y squared, something like this, and I want to find the dy dx. Now, this one that people tended to make mistake is actually not the calculus part. At least you guys have faith in you, says, okay, you can take a derivative correctly. But as far as everything else, that's where everything starts falling apart. So I'm going to go ahead trying to take a derivative of the first line. Let's see if you can take a derivative of the first line.
You mean the left?
If I take a derivative with respect to x here,
I can't do this right now. I'm stuck. I think I did it.
so if I take a derivative of this, you just have to worry about this. Did you see the chain rule? Actually, chain rule occurs in both sides. Do you see that? On both sides.
No idea.
So it turns out there's a chain rule here.
It's gone.
So it's what? Cosine x plus y times what?
Okay, that's
1 plus what? dy dx. Good. Okay, it's equal to 2y, and the chain rule is dy dx, because that's probably it. Now, here's the next line, is where people make mistake. Don't you ever FOIL this too? Ever. Why is that?
Because it's a composite function.
This is a composite function, right? X plus y is within the cosine. So that this do not distribute to this, ever. So kind of like, to kind of help you, that I will say is,
If you did the sum and difference thing, then you did.
yeah, but your life is too much trouble like here. So this is the whole thing. Do not distribute this because this is within the cosine. This times this is not allowed. But this whole thing can distribute to both.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what last year everybody's doing this, and I didn't understand why. And I keep on, like every time I see that question, I keep on marking it off, minus 10, minus 10, minus 10, minus 10. But like last year I didn't understand why is people keep on making that mistake. But this year I kind of see, okay, this x plus y is belong to cosine. So that x plus y does not distribute to this, that's two different things. But this whole thing can distribute into this parenthesis. So in that case, that's gonna give me cosine of what? X plus y, parenthesis, right? Plus dy dx cosine of x plus y. And then is equal to 2y dy dx. And now you can isolate, so it looks really nice. X plus y is equal to dy dx, I'm gonna factor out, so that's gonna be 2y minus cosine of x plus y,
Divide.
and then divide over, and then you're done. So your answer is actually cosine of x plus y over 2y minus cosine of x plus y. And what drives me insane is people get down to this part and they decide to do something extra.
They cancel out the cosine.
They cancel out this and then minus 10.
No pressure for this?
There's no partial credit because you just remap just right there at that moment. Because you cannot ever cancel out if they are connected by a subtracting sign. But don't ever do that because that way you're gonna make mistake. Questions? Okay, you're gonna try one where this question says sine of so I won't do sine. Let's do tangent. Okay, let's do tangent
I was
of x times y. Okay, tangent of x times y plus is equal to sine of
I'm pretty sure this.
sine of y.
I thought it was secant squared, right?
It is
Secant squared x.
Okay.
Sam, stop misinforming the people.
Why are you throwing shit, man?
Because it was a marker. Yeah, now you see this right.
Let me see what's the next question we're gonna cover.
Oh, yeah.
Already off.
Oh, thanks for the right on the ground.
Sorry.
Core.
Court.
Good job, core.
28.
That nickname's gonna stick.
You just have nickname for
Court cracks the court case.
That was a good rant back.
Thanks to
What about product?
Ariana.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which one?
So it's cosine x plus y, then you move the derivative on the other side. How did you move the
Look,
derivative?
he subtracted the d.
I subtracted over there and backed out dy dx.
Why isn't it negative?
If subtract, this is plus, move to the other side, negative. I move to the plus, move to the other side, become minus, take out dy dx, done. I just do a two-step at once, I'm too lazy.
You already answered? Oh.
Andre's finished?
I think I
Okay, so, what's the derivative of tangent x plus x times y?
Secant squared x.
Secant squared of what?
X.
X and y times what? Y plus x dy dx. Okay? Is equal to cosine of y dy dx. Do you see that? Now, can this thing multiply to this?
Why it's just one.
No, right? Do you see that? This is itself. Do you see that? We can distribute to this. So that is gonna be y secant of square of xy plus x secant squared of xy dy dx is equal to cosine of y dy dx. Did I go too fast? I move to the other side, factor out dy dx, I'm done. I move to the other side, so it's gonna be y sec square of xy is equal to dy dx. If I factor out, if I move to the other side, it's gonna be cosine of y minus sec square of xy. and then dy dx is equal to y secant square of xy over cosine of y minus secant square of xy. And that's my final answer. So I know that's a little bit more extensive. That's as far as I can ask you. Now, as far as yesterday question 8, that was simplification. That was much harder. But
Can you explain why you do the y plus x dy dx thing?
because there's a product rule between x times y, that's not plus,
The whole thing, the whole.
right? So there's a product between two things. It's x times y.
Wait, isn't.
Oh,
The previous
yeah.
problem there was a plus.
Yeah, I see.
That's where I got confused. And then after that.
Okay, so you gotta make sure what's the inside function, what's the outside function.
Huh? So wait, keep it.
Am I going too fast?
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got confused.
Wait,
Cosine y.
Wait, why
do
slow
you-
down?
Why do you have to subtract? You know, chain rule? Why?
As Bob Worthing would say, easy scale.
So, and like this one's x plus y. So I just twist a little bit that there is actually x times y here. So then there's a product rule involved. Yes.
Above your answer, like above that last function, above your answer, when there's a secant squared with an x in front of it,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the last one.
like cosine y minus x secant x.
You just subtract.
Yeah, okay, that.
Oh,
Okay,
there's
okay,
an x.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's an x. And this is an x, right? And this is an x.
Can that become secant squared x squared?
Okay,
Thank
then I
you.
got it right. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it.
Okay.
Cosine
So
y minus.
miss a parenthesis here.
What
Yep.
does the bottom part say?
Cosine y minus x secant square xy. So that's a little bit more extensive,
So that can't become x squared, right? It's like,
huh?
that can't become x squared. Just,
No,
it's
that's
x
x.
times that.
They don't times the inside.
Wait,
Don't ever do that. Okay, don't ever do that because that parenthesis itself has belonged to secant.
Okay.
It doesn't distribute, it doesn't touch, just leave it where it is.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so sometimes I don't have to, give me a second. I don't have to give you the y value to finding the slope. You guys should know the shape of this. If you guys good at the pre-calc, you guys should know that was a specific shape. So I can find equation of tangent line.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's a circle.
Okay, almost a circle. Good.
Not for the top.
It's
Isn't ellipse minus? There's a circle minus.
No.
Y'all using the word ellipse, I like to say oval.
What the hell is an ellipse?
It's a circle.
Yeah.
It's a.
it's how the world runs. Actually, literally, it's how the Earth
X
runs.
over h plus y.
It's the elliptical.
Oh, orbit. Oh, it's the orbit.
It's not how the world runs.
Oh, because that's equal to 1, you're saying divide the full.
What? But I thought the world ran on donkeys.
What?
No one got that?
Can you see the whole screen?
That's not even a funny joke.
Yeah.
I really hate that.
Okay, so now find the equation tangent line. I don't have to give you y value. How do you get a y value? Plug in. So those are the things that you need to emphasize. Like, look, all the homework question, like I always give you x and y value. I don't have to give you y value because I already have a function. I can always input the x in there to get a y value. Okay, Courtney, I forgot to answer your question. Sorry.
Oh, what if it says like derivative of y over derivative of x equals like cosine? No, it's not up there. But like, I'm just saying, what if it says like dy over dx equals like cosine of the derivative of y over
dy dx is equal to cosine what?
cosine of derivative of y over dx. Like
Cosine of derivative, no, that's not gonna happen.
like-
It's gonna be like x and the d, I mean, you're trying to move that one side factor out, so you should not have dy dx on the other side.
No, but like, what if there's a dy over dx inside of like a equal sign?
No, that's not possible.
It's not possible.
Because in this case, that although it's after I take it out, it's already outside, it's not part of the secant anymore. So it's inside the parentheses, but it's not belong to secant. But inside can never be a dy dx, that's not gonna happen. Okay, so it turns out this one has two tangent lines, because that's why I actually, for the first time, what is that? Verb agreement? I usually don't do that.
Parentheses?
But you can have lines in this case, because think about it, if we have a ellipse, right? In this case, ellipse is gonna be, this is a 1, and this is actually 2. And then this is gonna be ellipse like this. But x equal to square root of 2, there's a possible tangent line like this, and there's a possible tangent line like this. There's two tangent lines.
They intersect.
They do intersect, so it'll be a stronger question if I ask you where they intersect.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't.
No, but if you can find one equation tangent line, that's good. But if you can find both, that'd be awesome. But on the test,
Intersect on the x-axis?
no, I can have do it like this. Yeah,
But they will intersect the y.
I can do like this. It's going to intersect on top. Okay. Now, what happened is I can go in plug in. The only thing different between this question and all the question before is I can plug in the x equal to square root 2. So square root 2 square plus 4y squared is equal to 4. So that is equal to 4y squared, that's equal to 2. And then y squared is equal to 1/2. Y is equal to plus minus square root 1/2, which is square root 2 over 2, plus minus. So I can find out the y value.
Hold up. What did you just do?
It's 1 over square root of 2.
Oh, you read. Wait, oh, okay.
Where's my
Okay,
son?
no, but even
I have it for
from
this occasion.
1 over 2.
You mean?
Okay, we got it right, we got it right.
Illegal.
You know what? It's perfectly legal, it's math.
What did he do?
Okay, so I can find the derivative. The derivative is actually easy in this case. It's gonna be what? 2x, right? Plus 4 times 2 times y times dy dx is equal to 0. So dy dx is equal to 2x over negative 2x over 8y.
Yeah.
So that's equal to negative 1 over 4y x. Now I can plug in, there are two values, so there's x, so I'm going to write down those two coordinates, square root 2, and then square root 2 over 2, and then square root 2, and then minus square root 2 over 2. So sometimes you're going to get two equation tangent line. If you plug in one of them, so I'm going to plug in the first one, so it's going to be negative 2 square root 2, right? Oh, sorry, negative 1 square root 2. 4 times negative square root 2 over 2. 4 plus square root 2 over 2. That's going to cancel out over 2, and that's equal to negative half. So I can use the first one. The first one's going to be y minus square root 2 over 2 is equal to negative 1/2 times x minus square root 2, and that's it.
Okay.
That's the first one. The second one is going to be the same thing, so y plus square root 2 over 2 is equal to x minus square root 2, and this one's going to be positive 1/2, because if I plug in, so those are actually two equation tangent lines. So sometimes you're going to get equation tangent line twice, but remember, on my exam, on homework, there was no two equation tangent line. But it could have, and then you say, oh yeah, I can do this, that's a piece of cake. But AP exam is not going to ask that way. My exam is not going to ask that way. I just practice problem, I show you more extensive that you have to worry about. How much time I have? 10 minutes?
Yeah, 9 minutes. 9 minutes.
Okay, good. We can cover one more things. Too bad. It's on video. Subscribe.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Okay.
We have a total of 0 people watching.
X squared plus y squared is equal to 9. Do you know what the equation is? Circle with radius what? 3. Good. It's only your SAT next week. There's always a circle unlike SAT. And it could be in this format, right? X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. So it could be in that format. So make sure you know your circle equation. It's on your SAT. Those of you guys are thinking about national merits, which is,
Nobody. Mr. Yeah, help me get national merit.
I don't know.
Nah, help me.
Okay, so now in this question, I don't want to find the first derivative. I want to find this d2y dx2. So that means the second derivative. So I need to find that for you.
Why do you want to find
dy
out?
dx is equal to f prime of x, right? Or equal to y prime. That's the same notation. Those notations are equal to each other. They are slope, they are rate of change, gradient. There's also so many different words on this. Now, if I take a derivative, which is derivative on the derivative, right? This is the first derivative. If I take a derivative with respect to x, I'm gonna get d2y and dx2. That's the second derivative, which is equal to f double prime of x, or equal to y prime of double prime of x. Or y double prime, sorry. Y double prime. So I can take a second derivative of this. Now you guys are gonna pay attention on this one. This one's kind of tricky. It's not the hard part of taking derivative. It's the algebra part that comes with it. So if I take the first derivative, that's easy. 2x plus 2y dy dx, right? Is equal to what? 0. And then dy dx is equal to negative x over y. Dy dx, I color coding. That means something is important. I'm also going to color code this. X squared plus y squared is equal to 9. So I'm going to take another derivative again. So I can take a derivative again, d to the dx of 2x plus 2y dy dx equal to 0.
Why don't you use the simplified version?
Oh yeah, I did. Sorry, my bad. So dy over dx equal to negative x over y. So now I have to do this one. If I take a derivative of dy dx, what am I going to get? d2y dx2, right? So that's the second derivative. Now I'm going to do what? Quotient rule. Low d high minus high.
D low.
High is negative x. D low is dy dx
Yeah.
over low, which is y squared. Which is, let me color code this. I'm really good at this now. Color coding.
Good.
Now what's nice thing is this, dy dx is already here, right? Can I substitute that? Because I want to simplify all the way that doesn't have a dy dx. So it'll be negative y plus x times what? Negative x over y. Do you see that? Over y squared.
Oh, okay, I see your place.
No, I need a common denominator, so I need to multiply this side by what? Y over y, right? So I'm gonna give me a y, and that's gonna be negative y squared, and then minus x squared over y squared. So divide by y squared, keep changing flip. It's gonna be negative x squared plus y squared over y to the third. But that's not the answer. Pay attention.
dx squared shouldn't be d squared x squared on top, like d over dx times dy.
What?
Like, you know how you put d squared y over dx squared?
Yeah.
Why isn't the d over squared?
What?
Like, why is the square only on x and not
It's just a notation, there's a second derivative notation. I don't make the rules, they do. Okay, so now what happened here is I'm gonna color code this again. Right?
Why just that part?
Because look at original questions.
Oh,
So that's my final answer.
-9.
Wait.
That's a 1.
Oh, that's cool.
So what it comes kind of cool is the part at the end, there is always something you can evaluate.
Oh.
Right here, you're trying to stay awake. You're trying to open the eyes like this.
I'm trying to understand.
Is X squared plus Y squared?
Now you're like Asian now.
I need to prove that.
I cannot do that on video. That's like.
Well, you
racist.
are Asian.
Oh, I can make it my make fun of my own race, right?
Yes.
I can do this all day.
You're racist to every race, so you're equal.
On camera,
And you're equal to everybody.
Okay, so you're gonna try this question on a second derivative?
You think
What if like the principal of watching, I don't know.
Can you roll through that?
I can confirm there are 0 viewers.
Huh?
I can confirm there are 0 viewers.
I don't care.
It's about the video.
Wait.
It's about the memory.
Can you go over all that again?
It's about the memory.
Slowly.
How'd you get this?
I take a derivative with respect to x. On a dy dx, I'm gonna get d2y dx.
Yeah.
What is 4?
How did it?
Mystery is, how did you go from here to here?
I substitute dy dx. See, I kind of code this so nice.
I know.
Put it here. dy dx.
Oh, okay.
How'd you get x from this?
This one is moving the 2x to the other side, divided by 2y, so it'll be x over y negative. I move this to the other side.
You set it equal to dy over dx then.
I'm confused on how that became y cubed.
Yeah, I still don't get how you like it.
Low d high, high d low, over low low.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How did that become y cubed?
Because keep change flip, this is divided by y squared, so divide by y squared is the same thing times 1 over y squared.
Yes.
Also, what is this? What is this Y times Y over?
Because I need a common denominator for me to add us to.
Okay.
Because this is a negative
times,
x squared,
okay.
yeah.
I thought it was a fraction, a proper
You
fraction.
even say.
Your answer is something like 3x over 4y.
You're not.
Don't ever come in with no excuse, no nothing, no homework, no nothing. Come in with the homework. You're gonna be kicked out again.
Come on, David, that's.
I make a video for you, so.
You didn't make a video for me, bro.
Yeah, I did on purpose. I wouldn't say it too. I wouldn't say it too.
I know, because you sure, when I walked in, you were like, you were absent. I'm like, yeah, so what is the video? And he's like, I didn't make one. Like, you told that to my face. Yeah, sure enough. That's why I had to come to class.
Wrong people.
That means you're more racist than brown people. Makes you racist.
This is where I
Yeah.
I think two like in there.
What? Oh, no, I don't do extra credit, but, so your grade is fine.
Yeah, I'm a junior.
Okay. As long as you pass the AP exam, everything can be raised. Yeah. I have the power. But you have to pass the AP exam.
Right.
I need her.
Oh, you have to change the one here.
Mr. Yeah, is Renato coming?
I don't know. Today is Wednesday?
Today's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
But it's his birthday.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Bruh. What?
So instead of putting
89.9?
You put the
wrong president.
How's that going?
Fine, you went to the lab and I want to get it.
Gray is invalid.
Please, yes, please.
Gray is gray.
Tell finish.
Huh?
You don't tell finish.
No, I went to Mikowski.
Mikowski. Oh, okay.
She finished
He
it.
said,
Did you give it to Grammy?
I didn't.
She said it's okay. Like,
She said she got it. She said
Okay.
she have to turn in tomorrow.
Okay.
She cannot turn in today.
oh, she can't.
I don't know why.
Okay, I'll.
They, her and Nelson already talked to each
Okay,
other.
then I'll just
so-
like I'll text her just to be sure and everything. So it's done basically.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You have big pimples.
I know.
What happened?
I broke out, bro.
That's a huge. I can't even like not notice it.
That's killing me, bro.
I know. I can't even not look at it. I'm
Whatever,
like,
Mr.
I'm
A.
trying to look away, but I can't.
Bye, Mr. A. See you like Monday, I guess. See you like another day.
Bye.
He's so honest.
I didn't get him.
How long are you gonna have